So this is part of what I've been calling my television addiction series, in which I go through and I talk about all the TV shows I watched in 2011 and 2012 when I was living in Cambodia and was watching way too much TV. Today is My Name is Earl. Now, I feel like I've been saying this a lot lately, but with apologies, I don't really have a lot of intelligent things to say about this TV show. This video is just kind of, I don't know, there to mark that this was also one of the shows that I watched during this period. My Name is Earl, according to the Wikipedia article, which I was reading right before this video, was on TV from 2005 to 2009. According to Wikipedia, they were a victim of the global recession. I guess, I don't know, advertisers pulled out, or I don't know, which I never realized until like 10 minutes ago. But yeah, apparently the reason the show got canceled was because of the global financial crisis back in 2008, 2009. I was, to the best of my knowledge, never aware of this show when it was on the air. Sorry, best of my knowledge, I mean the best of my memory. Best of my memory, I was never actually aware of this show during those years, 2005, 2009. I first, I believe, started noticing it when I was in Cambodia in 2011 and 2012. It was on one of the networks that was broadcast out of Singapore. I don't remember which one. There was, what were the names of those two networks again? AXN and the other one was, I forget. Two networks that broadcast out of Singapore that had American sitcoms on it, which you could watch off of regular TV in America. One of them was playing My Name is Earl, and I believe I didn't realize at the time that the show was already in reruns by that point. I thought it was like a new or current show. I also would see it around a lot. Like, you know, you'd go into a bar or something and it would be playing on the TV. It just seemed to be a show that was playing everywhere. And again, I didn't realize it had already been canceled for a couple years by that point. But yeah, I guess it was. You know, the thing about this show, if you're in a bar and you see it up on TV or something, it looks really funny. Like, there's a lot of visual gags. All the actors and actresses in the show look really funny. Like they just have funny faces. They do funny expressions. Everything just looks like it would be really funny. The guy who plays the title character, Earl, in particular, just looks like he's got a really funny face with that hair and the crooked mustache and the facial expressions. And I had assumed he was just like a character actor who, you know, would always play those sort of hillbilly types. And then I was looking this up on Wikipedia again right before filming this video, and it was Jason Lee, who had been in all those Kevin Smith movies and was David Seville in the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, which I never realized. And you know, again, cut me a little bit of slack because I've been living abroad for the past 20 years, so I've been a bit out of it. I certainly was out of it when this show was originally on the air. I was in Japan at that time, and this show never made it big in Japan. Comedies often don't. You know, a lot of American dramas will become big in Japan, but it's harder for comedies to pass that language and cultural barrier. The guy who plays his brother, Randy, again, just looks really funny. His ex-wife just looks really funny. Like, if you see the show and if it's on TV up in a bar or something, it just looks like it's a cast of really funny people. And I'm sure it is. But when you actually buy the DVDs, as I did in Cambodia, and try and work your way through a season, it's not actually that funny to sit and watch it. I believe I bought season 1 of My Name is Earl. I don't remember clearly what season I started with. Sometimes I did hop around depending on what was available, but let's say season 1. I don't even remember if I finished off that season, but I certainly didn't go back for more. It was visually appealing, but it was not all that funny. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't unfunny. It just was nowhere near as funny as you think it would be. I mentioned in I believe it was my previous review, Chuck, that I was using the AV Club's commentary on there. And the AV Club mentions in their review of Chuck, they have a long list of comedies on ABC that look really polished and look like they should be funny, but then aren't nearly as funny as they look. And they mentioned My Name is Earl on there. And then the reviewer actually walked it back a bit. He said, I'm tempted to take My Name is Earl off the list because it at least rises to the level of in your head funny. As in your head, you are aware that comedy is going on. It doesn't get a physical response. It's not laugh out loud funny. It's in your head funny. And yes, I think that about sums up my reaction to it as well. It certainly looks the part, but it's just nowhere near as funny when it's actually on screen. I was reading another article before I was filming this video. This one was from, I believe, only 11 months ago, talking about the legacy of My Name is Earl, and saying that the show had huge ratings back in its day, was higher rated than all these other shows, but now nobody remembers it anymore, and now nobody watches it anymore. Which, first of all, is that the case? I mean, I haven't been watching it, but yeah, is that the case? Does nobody watch this show anymore? I wouldn't know. Let me know what your experience is. But then second of all, even assuming that's true, it's really not all that remarkable. What survives the test of time does not always correlate with the ratings at a given moment. You know, if you go back through the TV shows of the late 70s and early 80s, there are all these shows that nobody watches nowadays that had really good ratings at the time. But then, you know, there are these other shows that just quirky or whatever, just hooked into the popular imagination for whatever reason. So what stays with people is not always what has the high ratings at the time. But I'll see if I can find that article again, and I'll link to it down below. You can let me know what you think. And yeah, My Name is Earl. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments down below. And that's my television addiction video for today.